Welcome to the show, everybody. I am TruePowerIsMine, and this is Special Report.
A Missouri school is considering a segregated safe space for white students to talk about their racism and white privilege. Vincent Flewellen, Chief Diversity Officer at Webster University in St. Louis, has plans for a new program based off a book titled Witnessing Whiteness. The need to talk about race and how to do it. The local Young Women Christian Association, YWCA, began the Witnessing Whiteness program, which requires participants to be white. If brought to Webster University, the workshop would launch in late 2019. White people would not be as forthcoming if they were in a mixed group. Tweet this: I have not had an opportunity to fully explore the possibility. Should we move to bring the program onto campus? It would not be before August of this year, Flewellen said. According to Webster University's student newspaper, the Webster Journal, related Caliph. Students learn construction of whiteness. Flewellen most recently brought a Witnessing Whiteness program to Washington University in St. Louis. He spoke about the program during a 2018 interview with NBC and said that he wants white people to stop calling the police on black people just because they're gathering in a park. Additionally, he told NBC that he hopes white people who participate will find their voice and are able to speak to, call out and stand up against racism. According to the YWCA chapter's Racial Justice Director Mary Ferguson, there are currently 16 Witnessing Whiteness groups that meet regularly and approximately a dozen more that could begin meeting this year. Ferguson also formerly served as an adjunct professor at Webster University from 1997 to 2009. It was important to us that we had a group where people of color wouldn't be on the spot, wouldn't be asked to teach, wouldn't be asked to listen to white people as they struggle to understand racism, Ferguson told NBC. White people would not be as forthcoming if they were in a mixed group, Ferguson told the Webster Journal. The YWCA's website states that members of Witnessing Whiteness will explore the history and construction of white racial identity, white culture and values, manifestations of white supremacy and privilege, and activation of white solidarity and accountability. Related, Univ of Iowa invites students to reflect on their whiteness. The website also has a document that explains the reasoning behind creating a white space. Some of the reasons listed are: people of color shouldn't always have to be the ones to educate white people about racism and oppression. White people need to unlearn racism, and it's a place where white people can begin to build a new culture of white anti-racism. Campus Reform reached out to Flewellen. Webster University, the Student Government Association at Webster University, and the YWCA about the Witnessing Whiteness program but received no response in time for publication. If Webster University decides to implement the Witnessing Whiteness program, it wouldn't be the first time a university has done so. In September, the University of Maryland College Park announced a white student-only support group called White Awake. The name of the group was later changed to Anti-Racism and Ally Building. Davos, Switzerland. They'll never admit it in public, but many of your bosses want machines to replace you as soon as possible. I know this because, for the past week, I've been mingling with corporate executives at the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos. And I've noticed that their answers to questions about automation depend very much on who is listening. In public, many executives wring their hands over the negative consequences that artificial intelligence and automation could have for workers. They take part in panel discussions about building human-centered AI for the fourth industrial revolution. Davos speak for the corporate adoption of machine learning and other advanced technology, and talk about the need to provide a safety net for people who lose their jobs as a result of automation. But in private settings, including meetings with the leaders of the many consulting and technology firms whose pop-up storefronts line the Davos promenade, these executives tell a different story. They are racing to automate their own workforces to stay ahead of the competition, with little regard for the impact on workers.
And I wanted just to share the last little bit with you. Russia says military intervention in Venezuela should be avoided. Once again, we're on the precipice, guys. We have the South China Seas, now in Venezuela, Russia looming in the background, China in the forefront. All I have to say is tomorrow morning, I would say at this point it begins. Look at the markets, see how they start off too. This has been a special report. As always, live your life with dignity, integrity, without hate, envy, and or greed. Peace.